All right, in today's video is the Batoka cordless mini polisher, the Flex PXE80 killer. Let's talk about it. All right, PDR beginners and everybody in the PDR Clubhouse, before we go live in December with the online training platform, I want to start making some suggestions for tools that you are going to want to have for the modules coming up, and polishing is one of those modules that you are going to want to be prepared for. Polishing in the PDR community is not stressed enough. The gear, the technique, creating a professional service and experience for our customers. And so one module in the online training is going to be dedicated to sanding, polishing, all the equipment that you're going to need, and proper technique. Now, detailers, if you were tuning into this video to see how the Batoka runs, let me just say I may not be doing an example of how this tool runs in this video, but I have been using the PXE80 for quite some time now, quite a few years now. You can see it's got some miles on that thing, but this now I've been using for a few weeks, and it's strong. You are going to want to put your hands on this thing. And if you have not had the budget to get the Flex PXE80 yet, here is the perfect start. Or because it's only $100, here's another machine that you can add to your repertoire, your tool chest, all of your equipment, your options to be able to pull out in case something dies or a battery dies for all you mobile guys, something gives out, whatever, or you hire another hand to come and help you do a ceramic coating. This is something that you're going to want to add to your arsenal. I am stoked about this. Now, to all of you PDR beginners, I have been trying and using a lot of different products, machines out there to try to find you guys not just the preferred option, but an option that's going to get you in at a greater budget-friendly level start, because man, it is a huge task to have to buy all of the tools that we're going to need in this journey of learning PDR. And so if we can save some money, I am going to fight to try to find the right gear and make those suggestions for you. Now, let me tell you, I'm not going to be doing an example of how everything is to be used right now and technique in this particular video. This video is just to start giving you a list to start chipping away at to purchase. We got our machine. I will put some links down below that's going to cover not just the PXE80. This is the preferred polisher right here. It's a 3-inch cordless by Flex. Man, this thing is a workhorse. It is awesome, and it's got some really great options here, just well made. I'm going to be reaching for this the majority of the time, but I have this week, I haven't even touched my Flex this whole week, and I've been using this one this week. I've been using this for a past couple weeks, but this week I only grabbed this Batoka cordless mini polisher. This thing runs great, feels great in the hand. I mean, it's almost identical to the Flex. It's a little bit bigger in size, and the electronics and dialing in all of your gears are down here at the bottom instead of up here at the top, which I kind of like because my thumb can start going through those gears right there. But man, the horsepower this thing brings, it is killer. You are going to love this thing. No stalls. It operates just like the Flex, man. Maybe a tad weaker, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't really feel the difference. But look, all you PDR techs, polishing is going to be an important part of your repair process. Being able to not just finish out that last 10% with your pushing, but also to be able to create a great presentation for your customers. Man, it's critical to set yourself apart from your competition. You are going to need to know how to not just push dents, but finish out and present that work so you can build customers for years to come. So look, here's a great entry-level polisher here. I 100% stand behind this one. I love this thing. right now, $99 for this unit compared to, I want to say when I got this and the charger and the 2 batteries and everything that came with the Flex, I want to say I spent $500, maybe $650. So it's quite an investment, but man, oh man, it paid off. So at some point you might want to get the Flex, but this is a killer machine right here. So I'm going to list down below, not just your machine, which it comes with great accessories when you get this. But I'm going to be listing rags, pads, polishes, because what the Batoka lot comes with is, it's pretty cool for $100 considering all the stuff that they throw in the box, but usable stuff, I'm not completely sold. I tried the pads that it comes with. They're not that great. It does come with an apron, a carrying bag. It does, oh man, 2 batteries, some air freshener. I mean, it came with quite a bit in here for $100. I would have paid $100 just for this. I would probably would have paid extra for the accessories, but it's got a, I want to say it's a larger throw. It's got a 3mm throw. It's got a rotary bit. It's got an extension, 2 pads, 2 3-inch pads and 1 1-inch pad. I mean, for $100, this is a steal right here, but I am going to suggest that if you start here, at least start putting some money into your pads, your rags, prep, your polishes, having a brush to be able to clean your pads, a paint depth gauge, a light to be able to check for swirl, sandpaper. I am going to be making a list of all this down below. So, and in this list, what you're going to see is a rag from Korea. This is made to pick up polishes. You don't have to buy this, but this will save you a lot of headache. This picks up polish really, really well. The way they design this weave, at some point, you're going to want to get into rotary, but to start off with, here's an all-in-one from 3D. This is just kind of, this polish does all the thinking for you. You don't have to worry about having a polish and a compound. The way 3D1 is designed is it has diminishing abrasives in it, means it starts breaking down right away. So it is going to just complement whatever pad you use. So if you use a very aggressive pad, it'll start cutting right away, but that won't last very long. And so there's not a big risk of damaging and overcutting paint because of those diminishing abrasives, which all of this information I'm going to be going in the I'll be going over all of this in the online training, but here's a great place to start, the 3D1. But if the budget allows, then I would say go ahead and pick up O'Berk's Cut and Polish. This stuff is what I use on a daily, depending on how aggressive I need to get. And sometimes I don't need to cut. Sometimes I go right in with the polish. On most stuff that we do with PDR, most polishing that we do with PDR is going to be pretty light. We're not going to be getting too aggressive unless you're doing big smashes, and that's where I'll start getting into rotary and cut and then finish. But for most 90% of the PDR that we're doing, it's very light, oftentimes no sanding, but just very light polishing and just finishing out, getting rid of our marring, the light marks that we create in the clear coat. And so the polish is going to go a long way. But to have that option to be able to get a little more aggressive, this is a killer set from O'Berk. So start here with the 3D1. I've used this quite a bit. I used this for a couple of years, but it does have fillers in there. So, you know, where that makes a difference is you might polish out a little bit of sanding and it's going to look great. But as the customer washes their vehicle, it may reveal any kind of lack of polishing that you might have brought to the table. So it does have a little bit of fillers in there. And I don't want that to be deceiving. So for a true cut and polish, here's the way to go right here. And then if you do get into rotary, I like using Rupes rotary course, so I'll be putting links of all this down below. But Geon makes a great prep. So after you polish, to get rid of those polishes and compounds, here's a great isopropyl mix, alcohol mix, kind of like our 91% alcohol that we use for glue pulling. You can use that. You don't need this, but if you wanted something that's dedicated to just removing the compounds and polishes, Geon makes a great polish removal. The rags, again, like I said, these are from Korea. The pads, right away to start with, if you're just keeping this at a minimum purchase, let's go with the machine first. This is priority. Let's go with the 3D1 polish. It's an all-in-one. It does all the thinking for you. No matter what pad you use, it's going to just bring out the best of that pad. But here is a great place to start. This is the Lake Country Medium Orange, medium coarse pad right here. This is going to be the one that I use for almost all of my PDR. My daily PDR, I'm grabbing this pad right here. If I need to get a little more aggressive, I may grab their blue pad. It's a little bit more dense. If I need to get really aggressive, then I may go with Rupez's microfiber. This is going to be paired up with the cut. It's going to really cut some paint there. And if I'm really going at it, then if I have to put the rotary bit on this polisher here, then I'm going with a wool pad. But very rare will you PDR guys and gals have to go to something like that. But I will link everything down below if you want to start chipping away at that list, just to have when the time comes when we go over that in the course, then you'll have that pad and that rotary and the compound ready to go there. But at a minimum, I would say get the machine, get the Lake Country Orange medium pads, and get the 3D1. So I'm gonna link all of this down below. We've got a finishing pad. I didn't mention that, but a finishing pad, that's just that last step if you really wanna get something really nice and clear. Now, as far as light goes, the light is gonna show you, it's gonna cycle through warm all the way to cool, but this is going to let you know whether or not you're really leaving any buffer trails or you're making sure you're really finishing out your polishing job. So I see a lot of guys in the community and they grab the 3-inch, either Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita, but they're rotary. They're a little 3-inch rotary machine. They get in there and they cut, and inside the shop, outside of the natural light, it looks good, but I promise you, a lot of those jobs, once they pull outside, you're gonna be seeing out in the sun, you're gonna be seeing buffer trails. So you gotta be careful with that rotary, which is why I really suggest this machine here. This machine is a DA. It's a dual action. It means that unlike a rotary that just spins in one plane, the DA also has an X-axis. It's spinning around at the same time that it's spinning this way. It's also bouncing around at different angles, and that is going to help you create any of those swirls what am I thinking here? Holograms, buffer trails, that's what you want to avoid, where you can, once you pull it outside, you can actually see where you polish. We don't want that. This is kind of that dummy-proof way of keeping us accountable from creating buffer trails. So a DA is great. So this machine paired up with the light, this is gonna show you if you're making sure that you're cutting everything and finishing it out properly. Now a paint depth gauge, I am gonna put that down below as well. This has helped me many times, not just to make sure that when I'm doing an estimate, I'm able to keep up with whether or not a panel's been worked on before, and that's gonna eliminate maybe some of my options to be able to glue, pull, or push, and help me communicate with my customer. But before I get aggressive with my sanding and polishing, it's nice to know how much paint we're working with. So I would definitely consider getting a paint depth gauge. It'll show you whether metal of that panel is steel or aluminum. You know, if it's got like a really high reading, there's a good chance there's probably some Bondo and paint before. If you're kind of questioning and maybe the paint looks good and you don't see a whole lot of orange peel or fish eyes and dirt and trash, maybe the painter did really good, but you're not sure if it's been worked on before, and before you go put a glue tab on there and pull a chunk of paint, maybe you want to make sure for sure. This is going to help you kind of give you some peace of mind and let you know the depth of that paint. And then of course for our pads, you want a good brush. You know, as you're polishing, your pad is gonna load up and get a lot of compound and polish all embedded into it. And so you're gonna want a good brush to be able to run that machine and get some of those compound and polishes. So each one of your attempts, your approaches, your passes is gonna be nice, fresh, and your pad and your compound is gonna be able to go to work for you instead of getting too clogged up and not getting the cut that you need. So you need a good brush. Now the sanding I use for PDR, I very rarely go to the 1500, the pink. I'll usually go with the green and the black, either like a 2000 or a 2500 followed up with a 3000, which is what the black is. And these right here, the 3D1 is going to polish out all of the sanding marks from your 3000. And so I will put these down. I use Kovacs Toll Cut, so I'll be putting those down below as well. At a minimum, you're gonna want at least the green and the black, but I'd say 1500 just so you have that option to get a little aggressive. And then of course you're gonna want to be able to have a good sanding block. I'll link down below a smaller one from Kovacs as well. So look, here is kind of when I'm doing PDR and I gotta do any kind of sanding or polishing, this is what's going to ensure that I'm doing a great finish for the customer. And the Batoka cordless mini polisher is a great way of getting in at an affordable level. Now look, if you haven't already, make sure that you hit the link down below and sign up for the online training. All of the early members that get in now, it's only going to be $349. In December, when this platform goes live, it's going to be $500. But even then, $500 is going to be a steal compared to all of the value and content that I'm going to be releasing. This isn't just going to be an online training where I take like 10, 15 videos, upload them, and then I walk away. It's a one-time thing, and I'm like, learn it and good luck. This is an ongoing living platform that I'm going to be constantly putting up new modules, new lessons, live Zooms, giveaways, all kinds of stuff. You are not going to want to miss signing up for the best online training for PDR that a beginner could get their hands on. And everybody that comes out in person for training is going to get that platform for free. So look, get down in the comments section down below. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Again, I'll link everything down below. It is an absolute honor to have been able to be a part of y'all's journey so far. Thank you. It means the world to me. This is my new mission. The legacy I want to leave behind is being a part of your journey and sowing into you guys and being a benefit added. Now, if you haven't, do all the things. We're about to be in 2026. The like, comment, sub, all of that. Do those things. It helps the channel, and share it with a friend or a family member that you know could benefit from this. But until the next time, you guys work hard and go be great.